Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves. Today I have a really fun haul for you guys. I recently did some amazing trades again with some local plant people. So I kind of drove around the GTA and picked up these plants. This was on the same trip that I took to the nurseries that you saw in the last two videos. But honestly, I was able to pick up so many wishlist plants, and I'm pretty sure I was able to make some people happy with the plants that I gave them, so it's really a win-win. Trading is honestly such an amazing way to share plants and get your wishlist plants, in my opinion. So if you can do that, go trade with your friends, message them, be polite obviously if they're not your friend and they haven't listed that plant for trade or for sale. Don't ask them. But if it is a possibility, you should definitely try to trade with your friends. Before we get into the video, guys, I do want to say a huge thank you to all of my members. We have an awesome little community starting over on Facebook, and there are live streams available and extra content that will be coming soon. So if you do want to become a member, you can click the link in my description to join, or you might be able to see a join button. It depends on what device you're on. Also, if you aren't able to join, that is totally okay. You can just hit the subscribe button to support my channel. And if you enjoy this video, you can also give it a huge thumbs up down below. With all that being said though, I will get straight into this video for you guys. I do want to start off this video showing you guys what I got in a trade with plants, pots, and whatnots. So I actually went over there and visited her. Here is a cute picture of us when we met up. She was so gracious. She let me into her home and let me look around at her beautiful collection, and we made our trade happen. Oh wait, where's my phone? She also gave me one of her new stickers, which I placed right over top of my face on my phone. So yeah, she is really, really generous, and I'm so excited to show you guys what I got. Before I show you though, she is also uploading a video today on her channel of what I gave her in this trade, so I'm not going to tell you what I traded for these things. The first plant is one that has been on my wish list for quite some time now, and I really haven't seen them at all available in Ontario right now, so I do feel very lucky because this is definitely not an easy to find plant. It is a hybrid. I'm not sure if you guys can guess already by the plants that I like, but it is a climber and it is a philodendron. So I guess I'll just show you guys. And sorry, I just misted all my plants, that's why it's wet. But this is a Philodendron Glorious. So this plant is a cross between a Philodendron Gloriosum and a Philodendron Melanochrysum. And you can really, really tell the cross when you look at this leaf. I would honestly say that it's a split right down the middle between the texture and the look of the leaf between the two parents. But the shape is definitely more so Melanochrysum shape. It is an elongated Gloriosum basically. And it's also a climber. It got that from the Melanochrysum. The Glorious is actually the Gloriosum is a crawler, so it did take that trait from the Melanochrysum. And while this leaf is a freaking stunner, we also have this leaf here. This puppy is brand new, and it is so stinking cute. I'll try to show you guys. It is so cute. So this plant was actually a middle cutting, so it wasn't a top cutting. So this leaf actually had to shoot out of an auxiliary bud basically along the stem of the plant. So that is why this leaf is smaller than the larger leaf, just because it did have to come out, and it's not a fully established plant with a proper growth point. That is that reasoning. I did transfer this into soil. She did give it to me in sphagnum moss, but I'm keeping this very moist, and I have it in a clear pot so that I can take a look at the roots, make sure there's no rot happening or anything like that. The plant had an amazing root system when I got it, so I'm not concerned, but I just want to be able to make sure that I'm maintaining a decent level of moisture so that this guy can transfer to soil seamlessly. But yes, this is my beautiful Glorious. How freaking beautiful is that? So thank you so much, Nikki. I am so grateful, and this is such an amazing addition to my collection. I now have the Glorious and Melanochrysum, so I feel very lucky. All right, that's it from this guy. The next plant here also came from my trade with Nikki. Again, so happy to have this plant. The leaf is currently on its way out, but it does have a new growth point coming out, so I'm not concerned about that. She had two plants that I could choose from. One was more white, and the leaf that it was putting out looked quite white, so I did want to stick with one that looked a little bit more sustainable and one that might not want to off itself. So that plant that I'm talking about is the Albo Syngonium. This guy is so beautiful. You can see the leaf is kind of on its way out, but it is a stunning leaf, and I have no worries about this guy dying off because I know that there's something coming and there's going to be a great new leaf soon. I'm not sure if you guys can see the growth point, but it is there. And I do have this guy chilling in a clear pot as well, so I can see root growth, but this is in all sphagnum moss. It was, I believe, unrooted for the most part, because we did actually end up adding this part to the trade after all, so that's probably why it was unrooted. But yeah, this is a plant that I didn't want to spend money on, to be honest. I'm not like a huge Syngonium collector, but that doesn't mean that I didn't want it. So again, the fact that I was able to get it in a trade makes me super, super happy. And yeah, I really couldn't have asked for a better trade. Before I move on to the next set of plants, I really want to say a huge thank you to Nikki, and it was such a pleasure meeting you. So yeah. Next up, we have a ton of Hoyas coming from Rowen's Plants on Instagram. We set up an awesome trade as well. I traded her a 2-leaf cutting of the Begutensis and a 2-leaf cutting of the Cereae, I think, and a single leaf cutting of an unknown species of Hoya that I have. That guy came from, where did it come from? North Shore Tropicals. So keep that in mind, that is what I traded for. I also purchased a plant from her, so I'll show you that as well. And she also gave me a few free little goodies along with them, which was so sweet. But let me just show you. The first plant I have is a major wish list plant for me. I can't believe that I own this plant, and she was so sweet to give it to me. This here is a Hoya globulosa. So these guys have the most amazing veins and also just an incredible texture. The leaves on the globulosa are so incredibly fuzzy, I can't believe it. The undersides of the leaves are just coated in like a peach fuzz. So that is a really cool thing that I did not know about this plant. I currently have it rooting in leca. It is my favorite way to root Hoyas. There are many ways to do it, but I like to grow mine in leca, so I find that having them root in the medium that they're going to stay in is probably just the easiest way to go about life. So yeah, this is my globulosa. So awesome. Next up is another highly sought after plant that was also on my wish list. I'm so excited to have this one in my collection, and I can't wait for it to grow. This is the Hoya polyneura. This guy is also known as the fishtail Hoya. It is such a cool plant, and I know why it's called fishtail, because I mean it looks like a fishtail. These guys are quite difficult to come across right now. I wouldn't say they're rare at all, but they definitely are in high demand. So that is why it's a little bit more difficult to find them right now. Again, I have this guy rooting in leca. I do find that just to be the easiest way, and I do find that just having the water in the reservoir below does increase the humidity. So it's kind of just a win-win. But again, thank you. I'm so excited to have this plant, and I will cherish it. I'll make sure it lives. Now we just have to cross our fingers that all of these plants root just fine. Next up is another Wishlist Hoya, also from Rowen. This is the Hoya obovata, and it is just the regular obovata. I have the reverse variegated Hoya obovata, or I think it's just variegated. I haven't seen an Albo marginata. Tell me if that exists. I would love to know if there's an Albo marginata. But yeah, this plant is such a freaking stunner. Like, come on, look at those leaves. They're giant and they're so perfectly round. I honestly could not have asked for a better cutting of this plant. And it also has a nice long stem to go along with the plant. So hopefully we see some new growth within a month or a few months. Some can stay stagnant for a really long time. So if I start seeing growth relatively quickly after getting a plant, I feel very, very lucky. Also in leca, it's a trend. You'll see. This next plant was added in as a little gift to me, which I really, really appreciate. I hope that I cut this properly. I'm pretty sure this guy was probably on a trellis or growing in a way that the leaves kind of were flipped upside down. That happens a lot of the time with Hoyas, but I'm pretty sure I figured out the correct way to root this guy. So this here is the Hoya mindorensis. I do not have this Hoya, and I have honestly barely heard of it, but that's really cool. I love getting Hoyas that I don't know super well, so that is super awesome. But I am grateful for her giving me this plant. It was definitely just out of the kindness of her heart. I wish I had more plants just to chop that were a little bit more uncommon. I have a lot of common Hoyas that are slightly larger, but most of my more uncommon Hoyas are only 2 leaves, so I can't really chop anything up quite yet. Next summer though, I'm gonna be throwing in all the freebies. And then the last 2 Hoyas that I got from Rowen. One of these I purchased, one of these was also thrown in. The one that I purchased is this Hoya serpens, which is honestly a major wishlist plant for me. And how freaking cute is that? It's sitting in sphagnum moss in a cloche because I know these guys do prefer higher humidity. So yeah, this guy is making me super happy right now. I wish I could see it a little bit better, but until it's rooted and until it's happy and acclimated to my space, I'm going to keep it in the sphagnum in the cloche. And then I also was treated with this wonderful cutting of the Hushkaliana variegata, which is so awesome because this plant is also very difficult to find right now. It is in high demand. So I'm so happy to have even just a single node of this guy. I will care for it as if it's my own child. But yeah, thank you so much, Rowen. I really, really appreciate everything that you threw in extra, and also just straight up the trades that we made. I really received some awesome wishlist plants, and I do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really hope you're enjoying your plants too if you're watching this. And last but not least, I did want to show you guys some orchids that I picked up as well. These ones I purchased. This is kind of all I purchased this weekend on my trip out to make these trades. I guess I am into orchids now. I will preface this by saying I am absolutely not an expert in orchids or anything really, but especially orchids, I do not know much at all. I really just bought them because I like the way that they look, and I have a decent understanding of their care requirements. But if you guys know some helpful tips for me for each specific orchid, because I know they are different, I would really, really appreciate you leaving comments down below telling me how to care for them. So let me pull them out here. I'll start with this first one. These guys are all from Kim's Nature except for one that I got from Vandermeer's. So if you know what this one is called, please let me know. I can't remember what someone told me it was. Brooke was trying to help me out and I think she got really close, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments. This guy is so cute. I'm pretty sure it is a miniature orchid, so it's not going to get super huge, but I love it as is. Oh, I think that this kind of stepladder pattern is very, very cool. So yeah, this is the first guy. All I can tell you is that it's available at Kim's Nature and they did have it labeled there, so yeah. So next up we have this beauty. This is a variegated Phalaenopsis. It is the Phalaenopsis Sogo Yenlin Coffee. So this guy is honestly pretty basic in terms of flowers. It just has your typical Phalaenopsis kind of purple flowers, but I absolutely love the variegated leaves and I think it looks so cute on my desk, or not on my desk, on my shelf. And I honestly don't have any Phalaenopsis. I don't know if I'm super into them, but I'm totally into variegated leaves. So this was a great way to get into Phalaenopsis for me. And maybe, who knows, I'll branch out in the future and get some more common, or not common, but common-leaved Phalaenopsis. But yeah, this guy is a stunner and I am so happy to have it. I don't know if it's going to flower for me anytime soon, but it doesn't really matter because I'm in it for the foliage. I don't know about you guys, but when I pick out my orchids, I really like to enjoy the foliage. I also want to like the flower. Most of the other orchids that I have, I bought for the flowers. That one is specifically for the foliage, but the rest of them you'll see I really like the foliage of. Or the flower. No, I like the flower, the rest of them. So the next orchid here I actually got from Vandermeer's. This guy is a Dendrobium rhodopterygium. Okay. And then it says F. semialba. So it is the white and pink, I think, flower. I really liked the growth pattern of this guy. It honestly looks like it's kind of shingling almost. And I think this is a flower spike. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut that off or what. You guys let me know. I am uninformed. But I think this guy's funny. It kind of looks like a scorpion. You see that? It totally looks like a scorpion. Anyways. Yeah, this guy is really, really cool and I am glad that I picked it up because I'm really going to enjoy keeping this one. I'm also really, really digging the clear pots lately. I think I'm going to use a few more for my aeroids, and yeah, I also like the white nursery pots. The white nursery pots on my last two plants came from Kim's Nature. So if you're interested in those ones, you can also pick them up there. The last plant in this haul is actually my favorite of the orchids that I got. I don't know why. The leaves just look very supple and beautiful. I don't know if this, oh no, I know what this is. This is a Gastrochicus japonicus. I believe that's how you pronounce that. But here it is. It is so beautiful. I've lined the top of this pot with sphagnum moss, but it is in a chunky soil mixture with lots of orchid bark and perlite and all of the above. This guy is so beautiful though. I really, really love it. Oh, there goes Spag. But yeah, thank you, Kim's, for these beautiful, beautiful orchids. I'm pretty sure the flowers on this one are really, really stunning too. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it from me. Those are all of the plants that I either traded or purchased this weekend. I feel so lucky. I was able to get so many of my wishlist plants and pick up some really, really cool new orchids. So thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to all the nurseries. Thank you to all of my fellow Instagram friends and YouTubers. I definitely want to trade again in the future. I hope that we can set something up because I'm very, very happy. Again, if you guys aren't already subscribed, you can hit that button down below, and if you want to join as a member, you can also click the link in my description or the join button beneath this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a friggin' thumbs down. Who the heck cares? With that being said though, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!